depth and who's going to take over some of those spots, and not a whole lot of proven depth there yet. But
Right.
what do you see from your crew?
Trey is definitely the leader. He has the most experience, and like Coach said earlier, he did a great job of really being productive with the football this spring. I was very excited for him. We also have Tobias and Colin Wilson that's coming along, and with those young freshmen that are coming, they're coming along as well. So I'm excited about this fall camp. You know, there will be a lot of competition. There's still a lot to be proven. There is some unknown, you know, and the competition should really heat things up.
When you got new guys coming into Petrino's offense at the running back spot, how difficult is it for them to pick it up, and can you pick it up quickly?
Yes, you can pick it up quickly. With me, with those two new young guys, I've been spending a lot of extra time with them, you know, going at a very slow pace to make sure they understand what we do as an offense.
I know you haven't been able to work with them on the field, but you've seen them run. How fast are the two new guys?
Very fast, very fast. Faster than me, I can tell you that. But they are fast, you know. Their speed is true. You know, what we have listed and what we've reported, that speed is true.
Is there a heightened sense of accountability in your running back room, considering last year Lamar not only led the team rushing, but was also able to erase a lot of mistakes and help you guys out in that regard?
Yes, there is. What I preach is sense of urgency. You know, I want full speed tracks. I want disciplined run reads, and everything that we do, we must finish.
Have they embraced that? There's more of a spotlight in that room?
Yeah, they're ready for it. I promise you, they'll be ready for it.
I think we're going to see more of the traditional offense where the backs get more carries than we've seen.
You know, everything is game planned. If that week calls for that, that's what we'll do. If it calls more for zone read, that's what we'll do. We're going to put our team in the best position to win each and every game.
Colin's progress coming back from the knee injury, how's that gone so far?
He's doing well. He's running fine, no issues. Like Coach said, we just want to make sure that we trim him down a little bit so that he can run well all season.
He showed glimpses in the little time he did. What can he bring to the offense when he's healthy?
Big plays. You know, he's a smart kid. He knows football, and I've been recruiting. I've been knowing him since he was a sophomore in high school, and I've always been impressed with how well he runs, and you know he's a very good inside runner. He has great vision, as we've seen. It's just, you know, making sure he stays healthy.
You mentioned Trey being the leader. Where's Dave Williams fitting in, or given his health, has he still got some work to do?
He's a top back, you know, but he's not out there with us right now. So once he comes back and joins us, we'll, like I said, it'll definitely heat things up.
Are you looking for one guy? I know you always get asked this, but do you want one guy to be the primary guy, or are you okay with the committee?
I'm okay with a committee. When I played, we had a committee. You know, yes, other guys carried it more, but we all worked well together, and that's what I'm looking forward to recreating this time around.
Coach K, a lot of talk about the tight end room and how the experience. Just can you kind of go through your guys and how excited you are to have the guys in that room?
You bet, Jody. You know, it's very nice having Mickey Crum, who's been in this program 5 years. He's basically was part of our first recruiting class. You know, I recruited Mickey out of the Columbus area, and so he's been with us 5 years. He knows this offense. He's been in it. And like Coach said earlier, he had his best spring since he's been here. And that's good to see because it's his senior year. This is the year he needs to step up and, you know, give us that production. And then, you know, Jordan's a junior. He's now been going on his third year in the program. He was able to redshirt when he transferred from Texas A&M and has picked up the offense now. And like, you know, Coach alluded to earlier, he's in great condition, 250 pounds, and, you know, he's 14 pounds lighter, which shows a great commitment. And then, you know, this is be good for Kamari that he got to go through a spring. The spring was good for Kamari because sometimes when a guy plays as a true freshman, you know, they didn't have to go through some hard times. They're right in there playing. You know, a lot of freshmen go to the scout team. They redshirt. They got to pay their dues. So this was a good spring for Kamari to really get back on some more fundamentals. He's a big, talented guy. I mean, he is what's advertised. He is 6'7", 270. And he's athletic and run and catch. But this was a good spring for him fundamentally, you know, to get caught up with the other guys. So I'm really excited about the room.
Do you you have to have 2 or 3. I mean, is that?
Oh, at
is
least,
3
I
enough?
mean, 3 is enough, and we do use a 3 tight end package. Our 3 tight end package is real good to us. We do a lot out of it. We do a lot out of our 2 tight end packages. We get to the goal line. We do a lot of things. Jordan and Mickey also have the ability and the skill set to play fullback. So we're able to put 3 tight ends on the field, but maybe not being traditional 3 tight end formations, but being more of a 2-back formation when we have to power run or get on the goal line. So you bet, more the merrier.
What kind of challenge is it for a defender when there's a 6'7", 270 pass-catching tight end coming after?
Well, it creates good matchups, especially because all 3 of these guys have the ability to stand up, flex out, break out from the formation, and play like an inside or an outside receiver. We did things with them this spring where they were outside receivers and inside receivers both. So, teams want to run in a 3 linebacker set, we can create some matchups. And then if you want to run in a nickel package to combat that, we can attach them back to the formation and, run downhill.
Nick, how has Juwan kind of embraced the role of being a leader? I mean, that can be key in the summer, right, in workouts with it.
Yeah, Juwan's done a good job. It's something that we've talked about also, because like at first, when the team would come together, he would still kind of go in the back, and I had to talk to him. It's your job now. You need to get up in the front. Show your teammates that you're taking over the team and taking over the leadership. And, over the past few weeks in our mat drills, you can see that he's really putting an effort into it. And he's putting an effort into, I know, the summer throwing that they've done. I've heard from the other guys that he's really been running it and taking charge and making sure the receivers are finishing. And, from what I've heard, when we're away, that he's done a really good job of taking over that leadership.
He seems to, he talks fairly slowly, he walks fairly slowly.
Mhm.
When do you see that switch flip when he walks onto the field? Like, how do you see it switch, and does it switch?
Yeah, that's, that's kind of who Puma's personality is. He's kind of a, relaxed, kind of laid back, guy. So, but that's something that we've talked about, how, he's got to kind of pick up from some of that and, understanding, he decided to come here, and there's responsibilities that go with being the starting quarterback here, and he can't always be as laid back as he is. So it's something that he's worked on a lot. It's something we've talked about a lot, and but you can see the switch when he gets on the field. He's always been a really focused kid, so it's never been anything about like focus or lack of focus. It's just showing more energy to everybody else on the team, and it's just part of learning how to be a leader and taking over that role.
Nick, Lamar always talked about last year, he didn't fully get the entire playbook till year 3.
Mhm.
He also played a ton.
Yeah.
So is it unrealistic to think that Puma isn't at that level, shouldn't be at that level at this point?
No, he's at the level of really understanding it. Of course there's stuff that still comes up, that he still has learning curves on. It's a lot of it is also experience. Lamar had a lot of experience, like you just said. So, we could talk about something and pick up something from last year during this game. You understand the situation, so that's going to be part of Juwan's learning curve, is just getting that experience also. But I would say his understanding of the playbook has been really good, from the time, he's had a lot of time here, a lot of time to sit and watch and learn, and, it's just that experience part of it and understanding certain situations of the game, and, it's just something he's going to have to go through.
Also, how does one practice and work on his energy level if he's naturally laid back?
How does what?
How does one work on his energy level if he's naturally
Just
laid
showing
back?
more enthusiasm during practice, trying, getting guys to the huddle, making sure, everybody's moving around fast. It's just something he's done a lot better job of, and it's just something you talk about with him, and he's done a lot better job at it.
Nick, we saw what Malik could do in the spring game.
Mhm.
What's the competition with he and Jordan now that Jordan's going to be in the mix? What do you kind of expect from both of those guys, and how do you get them ready in case something does?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. You can see, obviously we were able to see Malik and his athleticism, and, like Coach just said earlier, he's been throwing the ball a lot better, and it really improved throughout the spring. And I've heard from some of the guys this summer that he's, just from the work in the weight room, that his arm's gotten stronger. And then, having Jordan come in, and just in the mat drills we've had, you can see his athleticism. And, kind of like Coach said also, from what we've heard, is that he can really snap his wrist and has a really strong arm. So I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good for both of them. You know, obviously Jordan has a lot to learn. You know, he's going to be a little behind in that part. You know, from the meetings we have, he does pick up. He is a smart kid. He picks up stuff pretty well, but it's a lot. So, you know, there's going to be that aspect of it, but he's definitely going to push Malik, and Malik's going to have to, you know, it's going to be, you know, if something ever happened, you know, right now Malik would be the guy, but Jordan's going to have the opportunity to, you know, in camp and to show what he can do.
During the recruiting process, what was it about Jordan that really jumped out to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, from watching his film, I got to go watch him last year during the season, playing a game, and, you know, obviously his athleticism jumps off, but then, you know, we had film of him from the spring, how he could throw, I mean, video right behind him, so you could see that he could naturally throw the ball. He had a really good release. He could snap his wrist. So everything throughout the recruiting process we really liked about him. You know, he comes from a good high school where he has a good coach. So, you know, and he was a pretty smart kid. You know, he comes from a good family. You know, like Coach said, his brother's a professional baseball player, so he understands, you know, the business side of it. And, you know, we just really liked him. We thought he could come in and be a really good player for us.
Is it getting easier for a true freshman quarterback to come in and compete, whether it's for a number 2 position or like Lamar, you know, 3 years ago, come in and get playing time in the first snap?
I wouldn't say it's getting easier. I think our playbook is still really hard to learn. You know, it's how much time do they want to put in. You know, obviously Lamar came in his freshman year. He was out there not knowing what he was doing half the time. He was just living off his athleticism and making plays. And you know, and Lamar had natural vision. He could just see stuff happen and be able to get the ball out. But I don't think it's easy. I think it takes a lot of work. You know, they got to be really dedicated and come in on their own and study and watch film and, you know, really at home at night going through the playbook and learning the offense.
But follow up to that, and, I'm not just talking here at UofL, I'm talking, you know,
right,
across
everywhere.
college football. And, you know, Bobby had mentioned, you know, these showcases that are taking place, and just really the change in how high school football is developing. You know, are you seeing it from that perspective?
Yeah, I think you see it from that. I mean, and a lot of the high schools are running what a lot of college teams are running nowadays, you know, with the spread offenses and all shotgun and, you know, they're running a lot of the same stuff. So, you know, with some systems, I'm sure it is easy to come in, you know, not necessarily easy, but, you know, they've been doing a lot of the same stuff in high school. You know, the high schools have been taking over what colleges have been doing. So there is probably an easier learning curve now than maybe there was a while ago. So, you know, that could be a part of it.
For Kolby or Coach K, either one of you, since you're both married, how were your wives when you've had official visits during the summer? And how much has that changed recruiting, you know what I mean, when you have to bring guys in this early?
My wife was very supportive. Matter of fact, she came to the dinners. She spent time with my recruits' parents and got to know them and meet them and tell them about Louisville. So I have full support.
How does it change?
I mean, my wife is very understanding. The only time it gets difficult is when we're unable to find a babysitter.
How much does it change recruiting, though, really, to bring guys in now and use those visits?
I think it's great. I really do. You don't have as many in, and then you get to spend that more one-on-one time. You're not really in a rush, and they get to see the day-to-day life of a student athlete because the kids are not in practice or anything, or we're not preparing for a game. I think the one-on-one time, the intimacy that we get to spend with the parents and with the player and with the prospect, I think it's great. I think it's great. Awesome.
Kolby, when Coach was talking about the opener against Alabama, I don't know if you heard it or not, he said it's kind of like, did you play in that game at Miami, that Thursday night game, were you?
Thursday night game.
Yeah, the first game we all went down to Miami.
2004. Yes, I played a little bit, yes.
Do you remember that? And
I
he
do.
said that game you all went into it thinking you were better.
Oh,
than
yeah.
win, and that's the important
were.
thing going into this.
We were.
If you didn't punt to Devin Hester, you might have.
Right. And he got out of here as soon as that game was over.
How do you get the players to believe that they can win that opener against Alabama? Does that add a little zip to everything this summer?
Oh, they believe it. They're working at it. That's what we're doing in these mat drills. Everything is designed so that we can beat Alabama, and that's what we're preaching to them, and that's how they feel, and that's how we're training, on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, and in the weight room. And then once fall camps hit, that's when we really go after it.
All right. Nick, what'd you clock Puma at walking down the hall?
He's not like a slow walker or anything. He can walk pretty, he walks decently well, so probably like a 4.3.
Coach Galloway, Coach Summers in the back as well, coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.